Hello and welcome, Lynx here. We are continuing Sakura Alien. Last episode was quite crazy and quite interesting. Let's see what this one will have in store for us. The next day. Good morning, darling. Rise and shine. We have another busy day ahead of us, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I would like to explore more of this wonderful city and to indulge myself in more of your Earthlings' intriguing pastimes. But before that, I have a gift I would like to give you. Perhaps it will help invigorate you. What? I blink grudgingly, dispersing white pinpricks of light which cloud my vision, and then... Ciao, tomate. What? My eyes snap open. I feel wide awake despite the lingering fatigue which still clings to my body. I cannot help but be awake, really, after being met with a sensuous sight. Anna is lying atop of me, wearing nothing but oversized button-up shirt I gave her to sleep. Her chest is pressed up against mine, and our mouths are locked together. She's kissing me. Anna's pointed cat-like tongue slides to my mouth, calling with my own. I can taste her saliva. Of course it would be mentioned, as expected of Wink Cloud. Honey sweet. The clean, refreshing smell of soap, meanwhile, wafts from Anna's body. Her long hair brushes against my neck and my cheeks as she shifts atop of me. For the covers of my futon are between us, acting as a barrier. This situation feels awfully intimate. Maybe there is some futon, I don't know. Anna sighs as she kisses me. Her fingers curl about my shoulders, and a warm blush spreads across her cheeks. Her eyelashes, which are tightly shut, are trembling. Anna looks cute, but... Isn't this a bit too sudden? Isn't this a bit too exciting? I think we are going to do with... We will go with the... Sudden, we are going Hiyori route, man. We are going Hiyori route. I wish she'd given me some kind of warning before she kissed me, darn it. Has this girl never heard of consent? Maybe I think grouchily. It's not a concept in Corval. Alongside clothes which aren't skin tight. Anna might look like a human girl, but her ideas are acceptable levels of intimacy are... Wait. She might look like a human girl, but her ideas are... There was supposed to be something else here, definitely. I feel like this sentence lacks some word. Not sure what word for. Acceptable levels of intimacy are certainly alien to her. She's even more forward than Hiyori, and that's saying something. Anna! I break the kiss, then take Anna's shoulders my own. I push her away gently, as one might handle a newborn kitten, and I don't want to hurt her and stare at her. What was that for, exactly? It was a good morning kiss. I wanted to wake you up, and I thought this was the best way. Isn't this what couples do? I guess it is, yeah, but we are not exactly a couple, are we? Are we not? No, the jury's still out on that one. And I might have decided I'm her darling, but I've yet to come to any concrete conclusions there. Dude. Hiyori. Listen, Anna is great, but I've already decided in the very beginning. And, you know, I'm going to stick that route. Listen, you don't change minds like that. You feel something for one girl, you don't suddenly change your mind. No! No, that's not how it works. Anyway. Anna's certainly pretty and I like her, but do I like her enough to date her? I have a few reservations, particularly given how little time we spent together. I don't want to rush into anything. Then there is also Hiyori's confession from last night to think about. My love life, once stagnant as a moody puddle, has become rather troubled lately. It's a lot for me to think about, especially this early in the morning. Hey, you might be saying, for example, but Hiyori just confessed to him, she had time. Hey, I mean, to be fair, she was being clingy and so on. She was being pretty obvious about her being serious about all of that. It's our MC that's, well, the typical anime MC. Anyway, it's a lot for me to think about, especially this early in the morning. I don't mean to be rude, but can you get off of me, Anna? I need to get up and get dressed. Oh, I can help you get dressed if you'd like. It's fine. I'll be alright on my own. Thanks. Are you sure? Anna's face falls. If you won't let me kiss you, you should at least let me dress you, darling. This is another duty of wives upon this planet, or so I have heard. What? I know it's a duty per se. This isn't the feudal era. And you're not my wife, silly? Not yet, maybe, but I'll be after the wedding ceremony. Yeah. Keep dreaming. I will. I'm very good at daydreaming. It is one of my special skills. Some skill that is... I roll my eyes, but I can't help but smile at Anna's cheeriness. Listen, I like Anna as well. But again, I liked Hiyori first. She might have woken me with an unorthodox method, but I can't bring myself to feel too upset about it. Anna's so cute I can't be mad at her for long. Her good morning kiss is a significant step up from the wake-up call received yesterday too. I think Anna's learning about human customs, slowly but surely. Anna's only been on Earth a couple of days, but she's making progress. I almost feel like patting her on the head. But that might be infantilizing, so I'll settle for pushing her off me instead. Upsy daisy! I nudge Anna off my supine body and onto the tummy floor, which she hits with a dual tat, then sit up. Okay, that was rude, man. That's not how we were supposed to do that. Right, I think I'll have a shower. Oh, as you wish, darling. If you'd like, I would be more than happy to... No, it's fine. I cut Anna off before she can proposition me. You don't need to come in with me. I can handle that on my own too. Oh dear, you humans are so woefully independent. I wish you would rely on me more. But perhaps it is not I you wish to dope on you. But Hiyori? I peer at Anna curiously. Her words have called back Hiyori's confession from last night, and the kiss which occurred after it, a blush rise to my cheeks, which I can't fight off, hot and guilty. What do you know about Hiyori and I? Not much really, but I have seen how close she is to you. You two did not get up to anything salacious last night while I was asleep, did you? Well... I glance away, suddenly awkward. My gut instinct is to refute this accusation of Anna's, but I don't want to lie to her. Anna deserves to know the truth. After some internal ink and ink, I eventually muster resolve to be honest. I give Anna an abridged version of last night's events while she nods thoughtfully. I see. I thought it's something like that might happen. You appear awfully close despite claiming to be nothing but friends. So, you suspected Hiyori had a thing for me, huh? That's strange. I never caught onto Hiyori's feeling myself, and I'd known her for months. That must be because you human males are notoriously dense when it comes to feelings. Hiyori said that too. And she'll be correct. Oh yeah. I pout. Phew. What do you know about human males, Anna? I know a good deal. I've read a lot of romance manga after all. Many of these stories do not work if the human males in them are not denser than bricks. I thought this was perhaps an exaggeration intended for comic effect, but interacting with you has led me to believe that stereotypes are based on truth. Human men can be awfully dense, but that thick-headedness is part of your appeal. Right, thanks, I guess. I run a hand through my hair, distracted. You're not angry about this, are you?
Oh, me? No, I would never be angry at you, darling, or Hiyori for that matter. You are both my precious friends. If you love Hiyori more than you love me, then I will stand aside and let you be together. You have known her longer than I have, after all. Wow. Anna is amazing. However...
Anna looks me up and down, echoes my blink about her lips.
It seems you do not fully understand your own feelings. That being the case, I see no qualms in continuing my attempts to seduction, clumsy, though they may be. Perhaps my kisses will help you realize who it is you really care for, be that Hiyori, myself, or...
Anna's eyes flash mischievously.
The both of us! Both of what?
My brow knits. Is it really alright?
It is upon my planet, in Corval, monogamous relationships were the exception to the rule. I would not mind in the slightest if, unable to make up your mind, you choose to marry both Hiyori and I. I know little of human customs, so it would be nice to have a fellow bride to help me pick up out my dress.
No, isn't that an idea? I frown. I think getting married to one woman sounds stressful, let alone two. It seems like a recipe for disaster, no matter how understanding Anna might be. I wouldn't want Hiyori and Anna to get jealous of one another. That might be inevitable though, the longer I'm unable to choose between them. Like last night, I found myself busy weighing up my options. What do I want? I think I want to date Anna. I think I want to date Hiyori. I think I want to date both of them. I wonder if it's like the final choice right now. I mean, I think I said already what I think, right? I think it's pretty obvious where I'm going with that, right? Right? Let's go. I think I want to date Hiyori, man. That's what I decided from the very beginning, kind of. I guess that's what I prefer, but I'm still not entirely certain. This is all very confusing. Dude, I already gave you the answer. This question plays in my mind while I have my shower, brush my teeth, and get dressed. Whilst both Anna and I are in a presentable state, we head off once more to look around the city. Hiyori and I were only able to show Anna a small part of Tokyo's many attractions, and Anna is enthusiastic in her pursuit to further her knowledge about the city we call home. I arranged to meet Hiyori outside the train station like yesterday. Well, we'll find out what's going to happen, right? Damn. I wonder if that was the final choice. Hiyori is standing there when Anna and I approach dressed in her favorite pink sweater and winter coat. Seeing Hiyori again, after what transpired between us, prompts a blush to rise to my cheeks. It's hard to look her in the eye, and everything that transpired between... Okay, maybe it's not yet the end, because still 4 achievements left. Let's see. Greetings, Hiyori. But Anna, of course, has no such compunctions. It's very good to once more make your acquaintance. You too, Anna. I'm always glad to see you. You're looking as cute as a button today, and you're wearing the outfit I choose for you. I see. Oh yes, it is very lovely. I'm glad you picked for me, Hiyori. You have quite an eye for fashion. You're very knowledgeable. Oh please, you're flattering me. I don't know all that much about clothes. You'd be adorably so, regardless of what you're wearing. Isn't that right, Haru? Oh, yeah. I blink, pulled abruptly from my thoughts about my love life. Anna is very pretty, I can admit that much, yeah.
See?
Hiyori grins triumphantly.
Now shall we take a look around? There's some nice parks around here you might want to see, Anna. Oh yes, I would love to explore more of Tokyo. It is such... Why did I say Tokyo? It is such a large city, and it is so very different from all I know back on my home planet. I'm very excited. Anna hurries along after Hiyori, while I tug along at their heels. They might look cheaper, but I'm still eaten up by the thoughts of what exactly I should do. I don't want to inadvertently pit Anna and Hiyori against one another in a fight for my affections. I'd hate it if the kisses I've shared between the both of them sullied their friendship. What should I do? Anna knows about my dalliances with Hiyori, but Hiyori doesn't know the full extent of my relationship with Anna. I should probably tell her before Anna lets it slip herself, but it might result in a rather awkward conversation. Perhaps it's inevitable. I will end up hurting Hiyori's feelings, but honesty, as my mother always taught me. Really? Really? What? Ah, honesty. Okay. Honesty, as my mother always taught me, really is the best policy. I kind of lost the honesty for some reason. Hey, Hiyori. I slide, or should I say saddle up to Hiyori, then tug her discreetly on one side. And as you notice, being taken with a cute stray kitty she is seen on the roadside. She's sitting next to it, murmuring, "Here, here, kitty, kitty," while trying to pet it. I'm glad she's so easily amused. With Anna's attention diverted, I should be able to speak to Hiyori about, well, everything. There is something I want to talk to you about. Oh? Hiyori glances at me, her head tilted to one side. What is it, Haru? I'm sorry if this is a bit awkward, but it's about you and me, and not to all three of us. Oh, I see. Is this about that kiss with her shirt? Yes, I guess it is. I see. I thought you might want to talk about it. It did happen rather quickly after all. Hiyori toys with a lock of her short, choppy hair, and distractedly she sighs. It's such a cold day. Hiyori's breath hangs in the air for a few moments after it escapes her lips, faint and gauzy like a miasma. I'm sorry about that, Haru. Huh? I blink at Hiyori mentally, blindsided. What are you apologizing for exactly? For what happened, I was serious when I confessed to you, but I'm afraid I might have been a bit too pushy. I'd hate to think that I forced myself on you, or that you kissed me out of, well... Another sigh. Obligation, I suppose. I'd feel really awful then. You didn't kiss me to spare my feelings, did you? No, that's not it at all. You've got it all wrong. That kiss might have been surprised, but I didn't hate it. I was happy to know that you liked me so much. I'm still not entirely sure how this will affect our relationship, but you've got nothing to worry about on that score. I wouldn't turn on you because you love me, Hiyori. Oh, thank goodness! Hiyori's face floats with relief. A gentle smile curves her lips upwards, illuminating her countenance, so it seems to glow. I'm very happy to hear that. I'm really so worried about it. I could hardly sleep last night. I'd feel awful, truly awful, if I thought my rashness had put a wedge between us or ruined our relationship. We don't even need to date, not if you don't want to. Simply being with you is enough to make me happy, whether we can kiss and hold hands or not. I'm totally fine with being friend-zoned so long as you don't hate me. I already said, silly. I don't hate you. I ruffle Hiyori's mop of choppy brown hair roughly, which makes her giggle. Thanks for that enthusiastic declaration. I'll keep it in mind. It's no problem. Giggling, Hiyori causes up to me, her arm looped through mine. This gesture seems a bit too intimate for my friends, but given Hiyori has always clung a bit too close to me, it doesn't feel unusual. It would be strange, in fact, if Hiyori was making a concentrated effort to keep her distance. I don't want her feeling uncomfortable around me. That kiss last night, and what preceded it, doesn't need to alter our relationship irrevocably. I'd like us to behave as we always did. Seeing Hiyori's smile sets my heart at ease like nothing else. Except perhaps her delicious hearty cooking. So... Hiyori peers at me, her brown eyes wide with intrigue. Was that not what you wanted to talk to me about? No, actually no. This topic is only related to our kids. It's kind of awkward, but... I look at Anna, who's still kneeling by the roadside, her attention eaten up by the stray kitty. I figured I should be completely honest and upfront with you, just like you were when you confessed to me. I don't want to hide anything from you. I didn't exactly instigate this, but, well... Jeez, I don't think there is a sensitive way to say this. I guess I'll have to come clean with it, and I hope Hiyori isn't too upset. This morning when I was asleep, and she decided to wake me up with a kiss. Oh! Hiyori blinks at me, her lips pursed. Is that all you wanted to tell me? That, and well, you know how Anna is. She's always calling me darling and clinging to me. I smiled Hiyori faintly. A bit like you are now, actually. We've even done some more intimate things together, similar to what you did and to what you and I did last night. What? Anna instigated that too. By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late to stop her. It's not like we're in any kind of committed relationship. I still know how I feel about her, but I thought I should tell you about it, and I wouldn't want you to think that I'm seeing Anna behind your back. That would feel pretty scummy. Okay. I like that. Not gonna lie. Haru, you are scoring points for me here. Also, what the heck is the hour? What kind of place is that? That red with a bit of yellow road sign that is on the left side, right? Why is it open from 1 to 10? I wonder what kind of place that might be. Someone please translate that whatever is written there. Anyway, if you don't mind. I'm not a cheater. Okay. That scores a lot of points in me, for me. Ah, I see. Hiyori nods. Her expression is pensive, but only for a few moments. Our eyes meet. Hiyori's brown mine. Then she smiles. Well, that's fine. I don't mind. Are you sure? I'm sure. I know Anna's crazy about you. She's been clinging to you since her first laid eyes on you. How could you hope to resist her? I'm not a guy, but even I think Anna's adorable if she keeps flirting with me that unabashedly. I might end up getting her too, and all sorts of other things besides. Hey, Hiyori giggles, as you could hear. You're both adults and you're living under the same roof. I would have been more surprised if nothing had happened between you. What? So you're not jealous? What is wrong with you? Maybe a little. I mean, I like you a lot too, Haru. I love you in fact, but so that's Anna. My feelings don't invalidate hers. If you're happy together, I'm happy for you. What is going on with those girls? Well, thanks. I still don't know if I really want to date Anna, for she's even pushier than you are. I don't mind going along with it, I suppose, but do I actually love her? I can't tell. Oh, you... Hiyori nudged me in the side of her elbow. You're so indecisive. Isn't it that hard to choose between us? It is actually. I've never been in a situation like that before. This might come as a surprise to you, but I wasn't exactly a babe magnet in high school. I feel like I've got to take this carefully. Or I could end up hurting you, and I don't want that. You and Anna are both important to me. I need to consider this carefully. Hiyori. Dude. Come on, man. How methodical. Yeah, well, I'm a physics student. It comes with the territory. I guess. You're so serious, Haru. Wait, was it said what Hiyori is studying, now that I think about it? I think it wasn't. I wonder what she's studying. But that's one of the things I like about you. Hiyori nuzzles her cheek against my shoulder, her misty breath escaping her pursed lips. You have a lot of integrity. You're not the sort of guy who'd take advantage of the situation. You're pretty special. You don't have to return my feelings, but I know I was right to fall for you. I really do love you. Oh, now that confession was unexpected. How does this make me feel? Like my heart's racing. Like my mind's all jumbled up. Dude, my heart is racing like crazy. Hiyori's words have got in my heart, palpitating like a teenage girl's. I'm getting so flustered here, I think I can feel my face heating up. How embarrassing. I'm glad for Hiyori's affections, but I'm not sure if I deserve them, or Anna's for that matter. How did an ordinary guy like me end up with two sweet kind women gunning after me desperate for my affection? It doesn't really make any sense, not that I'm complaining. Koichi would be well within his rights to be pissed if he knew about this. Now I need a bit of time to think about my next move. I mean, Koichi knows about it, right? The next day. Wait, we actually covered 2 days in one episode? What? It wasn't like that last time. Last 2 episodes. Anyway. Alright, Anna. I am going to university. Will you be alright staying here? Inside your apartment? Anna glanced about her, hands linked behind her back. I suppose that would not be too awful. You have many interesting books to read, upon all manner of subjects. Now I wonder what interesting books she could be talking about exactly. This isn't about the loot magazines stuffed inside my closet, is it? Yes, Haru, she did find them already. I don't even break out those magazines all that often. I'm nowhere near as invested in that sort of thing as Kosuke and the others are. Who the hell buys loot magazines for, to be honest? And then again, maybe I'm not the one to talk, because I did purchase an art book. It is not loot for. An art book from Tone of Mordred, 2 of them. So good! So good. Do I have anything loot on that shelf of mine with anime? I mean manga. I don't think I do. Anyway, I don't even bring on. Alright. I swear, those magazines have caused me no end of trouble since Anna moved in. Maybe I should throw them out for good. We could have a bonfire.
But I fear sitting in a room, alone, for many hours, may grow wearisome. I do not wish to cause any problem for you, Haru, but I'm awfully interested in this university of which you speak. I would love to see it with my own 2 eyes. I imagine it must be a wonderful building.
It's not really a problem to enter. Hey, I've been to university, okay? You could easily get onto the lectures without being an actual student. I actually sneaked into lectures of other friends of mine who studied something completely different. They don't even notice that. They don't care. Anyway. I sneaked in because I had nothing else to do, okay? There was a long break. I think there were quite a few semesters when I had 4 hours long window between one and the other stuff. Ridiculous. Anyway, the university I go to isn't that special, right? It's hardly the most prestigious. I guess it's been around for around a century, but it's no Tokyo U, whatever that is.
A century!
Anna stares me, her amber eyes wide.
And it's still standing?
I guess. There isn't much of the original building left, for it's been renovated a whole lot to cover over the years. The astronomy club rooms is in the oldest wing of the campus, which is all wooden. The floor creaks and the windows rattle in the winter. It's a bit of a health hazard. I bet it will get torn down before long.
Goodness me! The more you speak of this so-called university, the more intriguing it sounds. You and Hiyori spent a good deal of time there, is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. We're both students and take our studies seriously. We have to go in for lectures and seminars every weekday. Hiyori's studying history. We found out what she studies. So she doesn't have as many hours as I do. I mean, I wouldn't know. It's not uncommon for my lectures to finish at about 7 in the evening.
7? My goodness! And you set off at 7 in the morning?
I kind of have to, so I'm not late.
That sounds like a very long day indeed.
Wait, it's 12 hours, what the freak?
You do work hard, darling.
I feel like the longest I had to be at university was 10. And it was a pain already. I don't work harder than any of the other students on my course.
You don't know that.
And I know what I was signing up for before I applied to study physics. The science courses are always pretty demanding.
And yet, you endure these demands without complaint. You are rather different, do I? I could not bear the burdens inflicted upon me by my parents. I had no desire to learn how to be Corval's monarch upon their abdication.
Did you have those lessons too?
Yes, indeed. I had to study etiquette for many hours and politics too. It was all very tedious.
Wish the politicians in Poland would actually study something that is related to politics. Or something useful in general, because... whatever their knowledge is in, it's worthless.
I had so many facts and dates and important figures to recall, and I never had the best memory. I only cared to remember things I'm interested in, such as facts about human culture. It did not help that my tutors were all so dull either. I could not stomach it.
It sounds like you would have a pretty intense learning schedule. All of your own then. I smiled at Anna sympathetically. Our situations are a bit different though. You were forced to learn all this stuff by your family. I, on the other hand, am going to university of my own volition. It's always more fun to study, I think, when you're passionate about the topic you're learning about. I still kind of wish I went and studied English. Otherwise, it's a huge slog. I wasn't a big fan of composition back in high school myself, or sports. Or that I haven't decided to quit football when I was 15, 16? Maybe I could have stayed in that, right? I pull a face. I can't stand running. Wow, he's so different than me in that aspect.
Be that as it may, I must salute you for your devotions, for devoting so much time to academics. It is most commendable. I doubt I will be able to do the same, but I really would like to see this university of yours with my own 2 eyes. It might help me learn more about your Earthlings and your cultures, and even if it does not, it should prove to be more interesting than remaining here. You do not wish me to thumb through all your funny books, do you?
Yeah. The mention of my funny books makes my face redden. I wish Anna would drop the subject already. It's not worth discussing. But that's a good point, I guess.
Can I accompany you to university then? Please, darling. Please. I just wish to be more involved in your life.
That's what Anna says, but I'm not buying it. I think she just wants the chance to stretch her legs. She can't stand being coked up indoors. In that sense, she's quite like a puppy.
Please.
Anna's wheedling. No, make that outright demanding is a bit worrisome, but...
Very well.
I eventually capitulate. What harm can it do, really? If Anna wants to look around the campus, I can hardly stop her. She mightn't be a student, but people meander about the campus all the time. Some prospective students, others come simply to walk their dogs or take in the air.
Yeah, see?
The campus is quite pretty, even during the winter. I can't begrudge Anna for wanting to come with me.
Yay!
Anna beams, cheered by my agreement, then dashes over and loops her arm with mine.
Thank you, darling. You're the best partner I could ever ask for. I don't think I'm all that great, really, but thanks.
I smiled, then pat Anna on the head. Shall we go? We still need to meet up with Hiyori. I don't want us to be late.
Yes, indeed. Seeing Hiyori again is sure to be a lot of fun. I'll spend time together, the 3 of us. It is so nice to have friends. I'm a very fortunate woman indeed.
I wind up walking to university with Anna, the pair of us talking companionably all the while. At some point during my trek, we meet up with Hiyori. She seems pleased to see Anna and she asks where Anna's going. I tell Hiyori that Anna's coming to university with me today, a plan Hiyori seems to support.
Oh, that sounds fun! I think I will join that much more than being cooped up inside your room. There's quite a bit to see on the campus, although...
Hiyori frowns.
Would Anna be attending your lectures? She might draw attention to herself. She's in on your course after all.
I had considered this, naturally, and I tell Hiyori about my cunning plan in turn. Rather than have Anna tag along during my lectures, I mean to have her wait in the university's library until I'm done for the day. While I'm sure following me about campus would at first enthrall Anna, listening to my professors talk about condensed matter would in all likelihood bore her to tears. Hey, you might say that, but what if the professor say something and she's like, no, that's actually wrong, you know? What if she was like that? Anyway, I find my lectures interesting, but then again, So I signed up for this course of my own volition, and I've always been a huge space nerd. And that might be from space, quite literally, but she doesn't seem to share my zeal for atoms and particles. Dude, it must be crazy amazing to be passionate about something like this, right? I honestly feel like throughout my whole life, the only passionate thing I was about was football. And I quitted it. Because I think I loved it too much, and at some point it I started hating it pretty much. For maybe not football, but the club I was in. I started literally hating it and the people there. I had my reasons. But yeah. Anyway. Maybe at some point I will talk about it. Anyway. In library, at least Anna should be able to pick and choose what she wants to read, depending on what catches her eye.
Oh, I see.
Hiyori nods when I tell her about my plan, one hand under her chin.
That sounds like a good idea. I hope you have fun, Anna.
I mean, by the way, he said that Hiyori has less hours. Can't, like, Anna go to library and then go with Hiyori?
I'm positive that I will. I'm looking forward to stepping foot in your hallowed halls of learning. I too wish to educate myself so that I may become more familiar with your earthlings and your customs. Then I shall be even closer to my darling. Our wedding is imminent. I can hear the bells already.
Are you sure not getting tinnitus?
I'm not think so. I'm quite certain there are no issues with my auditory processing abilities.
There may be something wrong with your memory then. Haven't you forgotten? I told you not to cling to me so much when you're in public.
But darling!
And you probably shouldn't call me that either. I shrug and off. Who pouts?
Pooh! Boo! You're not being very much fun.
Hey, I'll let you come with me to university. The least you could do is respect my wishes. As much as I know, she's my girlfriend, and she's definitely not my wife. I don't want to condone her fawning over me until I've decided whether I can reciprocate her feelings or not. Call me old-fashioned, but I think it's important to do these things properly. Call me old-fashioned too, then.
Oh, you too!
Hiyori watches Anna and I, an amused smile playing about her lips.
For all your protest, Haru, you're acting just like a married couple already. We are?
She means it's because we're arguing. Parents often seem to do that, mostly about petty things. I sigh, while Hiyori smiles.
So, if Anna will be hanging around campus today, do you want me to meet up later in the astronomy club room? Maybe we can go stargazing together? Oh, I would love that. You can be assured that I will participate in your club activities. It sounds like a good deal of fun. I'm glad. I'll see you two later then.
Oi, don't leave me like that. Oh, okay, the three of us reach the campus, and Hiyori heads off for her first lecture of the day. I, meanwhile, escort Anna to the library. I'm a bit worried she might take issue with my plan after all, and demand to stay with me throughout the day, but to my relief. Fiction, astronomy, history. I don't actually know what's next. Not sure. Anna starts glancing about the library, like a kid in a candy store.
Is this the library we spoke of in such glowing terms, darling?
That's right, there is all sorts of books here, as you can see, so you should be able to find something to keep your attention. Dude, I wonder if my university had some kind of manga. Maybe I should go there once. I could enter easily. I wonder if I had manga. That's right, there's all sorts of books here, as you can see, so you should be able to find something to keep your attention.
Oh yes, I expect so. There are so many books here, it would take a lifetime to read through them all. There's plenty of material here to occupy my mind.
You sure you won't get bored?
I do not think so. I love learning, as I have told you already, particularly about you humans. You may rest assured, darling, that I should find my time here most enjoyable.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Now, as this is university library, a lot of people here will be studying or writing essays. Don't make too much noise, alright? If you distract them, you might get kicked out. The librarian, he is a bit, I glance over the desk in the corner where the stern-faced librarian sits, tapping away at her PC.
Well, she's kind of scary. You'd do well not to get her on her bedside. Understood.
Anna salutes me.
I shall be on my best behavior. Worry not, darling. As your wife-to-be, I will do nothing to disgrace your good name. I promise I can blend in with humans. I shall do nothing to betray your trust.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. Though I do take issue with that wife to be statement. Isn't it a touch presumptions? Oh well, I guess Anna will be Anna. If my warnings haven't stopped her over familiarity during the last few days, I can imagine they will be of much use now. Right. I glanced at my cell phone, the time's wearing on, and my first lecture of the day is coming up. I've got to go, I don't want to miss Professor Shima's talk. I'll check up on you later when I'm done, alright? If you get hungry, you can go to the canteen. It's in the next building over. Here's some change. Boom. I handed Anna some money, with she's pockets. See you later, Anna.
I shall see you, darling. Have a good day.
Yeah, I will. Anna's earnest well wishes leave me feeling discombobulated. I was shrugged aside Anna's manifold attempts to play at being my partner, but that have a good day was awfully convincing. For a moment there, she sounded just like a genuine housewife. Gee. I turn on my heels and march out of the library quickly before Anna can see the blush that's beginning to permeate my cheeks. She's too adorable for her own good. If she keeps being this considerate, I really might end up falling for her. Several hours passed, which I spent in various lectures and seminars. Eventually my last lecture of the day wraps up, and I head off to the library to reconvene with my alien wannabe wife. I'm a bit worried she might have grown bored despite her earlier enthusiasm after being stuck in the library for so long. However, she is reading a light novel called Sakura Beach, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are getting there, but as I soon discover, I needn't have worried. Anna is sitting at the same desk in the library where I left her this morning, a book plunged in her hands. She stares at the book wide-eyed, a bright smile on her face. I'm not sure what she's reading exactly, but she looks awfully invested in it. She's so ensconced, she hasn't even seen me approach. I'd feel a bit bad about interrupting her, but Anna did say she wanted to check out the astronomy clubroom. Hiyori will probably be there already, and I don't want to keep her waiting. Hey, Anna. I cleared my throat when announced my presence.
Oh, darling.
Anna peers at me from over the top of the book.
Have you finished with your educational obligations for the day?
That's a convoluted way of phrasing it, but yeah, I have. I'm free now. Were you alright on the road?
Oh yes, I was just fine. This library is a true treasure trove full of a manner of instructional manuals. I have been perusing these shelves since you departed, and have learned any number of intriguing facts about your rich culture.
Have you thought? Oh yeah, are you sure about that? I should be on my way to the astronomy clubroom right now, with Anna in tow, but her enthusiasm has been intrigued. I think it must be catching. I pull up chair beside her, take a seat, and then say, So, what have you been reading? History books?
Not quite.
Then have you been learning about Earth's geography, rainforests, and famous rivers?
That also sounds very illuminating, but...
Anna smiled coldly, then hands me the book she was poring over.
That is not quite the subject which took so much of my attention.
Yeah, what did then? I peered at the book Anna's holding. Can I take a look?
Be my guest.
Anna hands the book over to me. I scan through it, expecting what... I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure what an alien like Anna would care to research once surrounded by a repository of knowledge. There's a number of things she could be poring over, from photo albums full of beautiful scenery to information about, I don't know, the emergence of synthwave music in the 80s. Yeah, definitely that, man. Definitely that. But the book Anna was reading seems to be quite a different beast altogether from my milquetoast suppositions. The book is devoid of images, but it doesn't need them. A small dense characters packed enough of a punch without them. Words leap out at me, one after another, words like petals, honey, mask, and fluid. These words paint quite an evocative series of scenes, despite foregoing more direct terminology. Moans and sighs crisscross the pages, stealthier than something you'd expect to hear at a sewed plant. Not that I've ever been inside of those establishments, of course. I can't deny I've had a passing interest. I'm a healthy young man after all, but Tokyo's decadent nightlife is a little too rich for my blood. I'd rather not take part in any of that. Same, to be honest. I'm more interested in the furthest reaches of space than... well, the furthest recesses of women's bodies. Okay. I thought Anna, being an alien, would be similarly fascinated by the cosmos, but her interests seem to be of a decidedly more earthly caste. A particularly descriptive passage leaps out from the pages of this innocuous-looking book, something about Momoko's petals, bedecked in dew, began to quiver. Which makes me blush. I don't remember if there was a line like that, to be honest. It's especially awkward when I consider that Sheiji, my big cute cousin, was pretty good friends with a girl called Momoko. The Momoko in this book sound just like Seiji's friend, to such a degree it's eerie. Abashed, I slammed the book shut, then glowered at Anna. Anna.
Yes?
Anna looks at me askance.
What is it, darling? Is something the matter? That book did not displease you, did it?
It didn't displease me exactly, but it did surprise me. I didn't think you'd be reading stuff like that. Heck, I didn't even think the library would have stuff like that.
Well, like what?
You know what I mean. This is smart. By now, by impassioned cries have attracted a few curious eyes. My fellow students who are busy trying to study lift their heads to glower at me. Maybe I should have been more circumspect there, but gee, I wasn't the one sitting in the library reading a tawdry bodies Reaper with Nari carrying the world. Doesn't Anna have any shame?
Is this smart?
Anna frowns while resting one finger against her lower lip.
I thought it was a romance story.
It's a romance story with smart. In fact, it's mostly smart.
Oh yeah, I suppose you have a point. The characters do take their clothes off quite a lot, often at the smallest of provocations, but I thought it was romantic. Is that not what loving couples do?
Not as much as these characters, no.
Oh dear, I thought I could perhaps use these books as research material.
Wait, what were you hoping to research exactly?
How to make you fall in love with me, of course. I had hoped this book would shed some light on the complex maze of human relationships which I find hard to navigate. But you say this is unrealistic?
This book mightn't include any elves or fairies, but it's even more fantastical than any heroic quest set in another world.
I see.
Anna's expression falls, but only for a few moments. It takes less than a second for her cheery demeanor to return.
Well, never mind. I enjoyed reading this story regardless. It was a good way to pass the time. Some of its contents were rather amusing. Would you like to take my soft globes in hand, darling, and worship in my altar with your
Anna! I reach out, then clap hand across Anna's mouth, before she can spew even more embarrassing sentiments. Cut it out. There's a time and a place.
Yes, indeed there is.
High body tenses. I can sense an imposing, indomitable presence looming behind my shoulder, even more ominous than an earthquake warning. Slowly I turn my head to be confronted by a no-nonsense librarian. She glowers me behind the lens of her glasses, both hands planted on her hips, and says coldly,
Please remember that this is a university library. You are not in preschool anymore. If you cannot behave as adults should, I'll have to ask you both to leave. You are disturbing the students who genuinely wish to learn. Now, get out!
The librarian's frigid tones offer no room for argument. I can only cover my face flushed. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I murmur apologies while getting to my feet, take an hand in my own, and drag her boldly from the library, smoldering from the shame. I want to get out of here as soon as possible, away from the ill-tempered librarian and the scathing gaze of my fellow students. How much of that did they hear anyway? I hope they weren't privy to Anna's dramatic reading. Now, betterly would be embarrassing. The way things are, I'm starting to worry if I'll ever be able to go back to this library again. Nothing to worry about, there is always internet, man. Honestly, I've been to library just to go to the lounge and drop myself into the beanbags and actually sleep quiet a few times there. That's it. I've never borrowed a single book from there. It's crazy. Like, I walked past the shelves and won once, but never borrowed anything. It's nuts. And I wrote all my projects from the info you have in the internet. I wrote my thesis from the internet as well, dude. Easy peasy, let's go. Also, it helps if you are, let's say, dual wielding languages, right? I was studying only in Polish. So I was like, how can I make that? So there is no problems when I write something, right? So I was using English sources. I would write everything, translate myself into Polish, boom. No copyright issues. Anyway. And now for her part, seems blissfully unaware of how awkward things are. She's actually humming to herself, all smiles. Actually, funny thing, there was one issue I had, and I had to repeat one project, unfortunately. Because we needed to make a project of whatever, really, some kind of thing. And include the finances in it, right? So I was like, okay, let's make it realistic. Let's take data that some bank provides about investment into projects, you know? And they freaked me up on that. They're like, no. No. You can't show us the data that some banks provide. You must do it differently. So basically what they're saying, you must make everything up. And I was so pissed about that. But what can you do? What can you do? It was ridiculous with reason. Okay, and now for her part, seems blissfully aware of how awkward things are. She's actually humming herself all smiles. I wish I could be as carefree as she is.
Hey Haru! Hey Emma! It's good to see you again!
Hiyori's greeting once so cheery fades to confusion upon taking in my flushed face.
Hey Haru, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just got into a bit of an altercation in the library.
Altercation?
Yeah, no. And I was reading a book which wasn't entirely appropriate for public consumption, so I gave her a lecture. I got a bit too heated and the librarian overheard me. We were more or less ousted from the library in disgrace.
Oh my, that sounds very dramatic. And what was this inappropriate book, if I may ask? Surely it couldn't have been that bad if it was available in the university's library.
I groaned. Don't want to know. The look the librarian gave me was glacial. I feel like I've aged about 10 years. That librarian would put Medusa to shame. Her expression was downright blood-chilling. I know I'm being silly, but my body has been feeling pretty stiff since my brief stint in the library, and no, I don't mean that in an enticing way. I hope I'm not turning into stone. So, I make a brave attempt at forcing the topic back on track, away from Anna's burgeoning taste in literary erotica to the finer things in life, namely space. What's the forecast looking for tonight? Will the skies be clear enough for a bout of stargazing? Dude, should we really go? What if another alien will follow us?
That's a good question.
Hiyori beams.
The skies look rather clear. I think we should have a nice, unimpeded view of the stars, if things remain as they are. The sun should set in about an hour, so we've got a bit of time to spare until then. For now, would the pair of you like to play a board game with me? That might be fun.
Sure, I guess. It sounds like I have anything better to do, and it will help me take my mind off Momoko's wet petals. Shudder. What? I would not shudder for. I mean, Momoko was pretty hot. She was not the best girl, but she was hot. Why can this writer just be explicit about the various parts of human anatomy they are referring to? All these euphemisms make their characters seem like botanical gardens rather than embracing clovers. I get his point.
Board game?
Anna cooks her head in confusion.
What are those exactly? They're just a fun way of passing the time with friends. There are lots of different kinds, but generally the players compete to see who can achieve a goal first.
Mm.
We have a lot of board games in the club room, but most of them aren't much fun with 2 players. It should be more interesting now we're here, Anna.
I do hope so. I've not played any of those so-called board games before, but they sound intriguing.
That's great. Let's have a few games then. Now let me see what we have.
Hiyori begins to dig through our board game cabinet, searching for a suitable game to cement our three-way friendship. I meanwhile find myself smiling sardonically. It will be interesting to see whether these newly forged bonds of ours are strong enough to withstand a game of oligopoly. Now that will be the real test for friendship. Oh boy. The day begins to wear on, as they do, at a fast clip. I while my time away with Hiyori and Anna, often in the astronomy club room, which has become a sort of haven for the three of us. During the day, Hiyori and I attend our lectures while Anna pores over books in the university library. Then at night, the three of us congregate in a club room to play board games, sip tea, and then eventually stargaze on the roof with Hiyori's foldable telescope. This eats up the weekdays, while the weekends are full of trips about Tokyo. Here in I take Anna everywhere we can think of, from museums to parks to art galleries, while she coos and claps in appreciation. I also have my studies to contend with alongside all the socializing. My life has never been busier, but at the same token, it's never been more fulfilling. Once the stars used to be my main source of joy, I could gaze at them for hours on end without tiring, my mind focused solely upon the dark recesses of space. Now, however, I have more earthly occupations to keep me grounded. Anna's easy conversation and cheerful enthusiasm pushes me closer, not just to her but to Hiyori too. I've always considered Hiyori a friend, of sorts, but we've never hung out quite this much before. It's more enjoyable than I expected. This knowledge doesn't hit me with a jolt, like Anna's sudden arrival nerved it. Instead, it creeps up on me slowly, day after day. I really am having fun. About 3 weeks passed in this manner, in a blur of almost incessant activity. I thought I would have tired of Anna's presence at this point, but it is the exact opposite. I'm more attached to her now than I ever have been, and Hiyori too. The only pall cast over our good times is the question, which continues to linger, unanswered, in the back of my head. Whose confession should I respond to? Anna's or Hiyori's? Which of them do I care about the most? I thought spending more time with them would help me decide, but it's only grown more difficult to untangle my feelings. I like both of them. What do I really want? Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I already decided previously I want to date one of them. I think I'd rather date one of them, despite Anna's reassurances that polygamy is perfectly legal in Corval. We don't live in Corval for one thing, and for another, I don't think I'd be able to handle having 2 girlfriends. I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to give both Anna and Hiyori the attention they both deserve. If I'm going to date, I'd rather date one girl properly, rather than 2 girls half-heartedly. Yeah, I'm still uncertain who to choose for. This thought nags at me, even during our sessions on the roof, when I should be focusing at the stars.
Wow, would you look at that?
Hiyori exclaims on one such night, her iris hovering near the eyepiece of the telescope.
The sky is particularly clear tonight. I can see so many stars. And over there, I think I can see Venus.
I heard that before.
Oh really? That sounds awfully intriguing. I'm unsure whether I have been able to detect it before, given these last few nights have been so cloudy. May I look through the telescope to hear if it would not be too much trouble? Of course you can. This might be my telescope, but we're all members of the astronomy club. It wouldn't do to permit you from using our equipment and,
Really? Anna gestured to herself, blinking.
Do you honestly consider me a member of your club? Of course, why wouldn't I? It does not seem right somehow. I'm not a student at this university, so I cannot join officially. And I cannot help but worry that I might have forced you into this. I crash-landed into your lives very suddenly, without giving you prior warning. It was awfully rude of me. For I enjoy being with the pair of you. I do fret that I may be getting in the way. No, you're not. You couldn't be more mistaken, Anna. My astronomy club's been really cheery since you arrived. I like Haru a lot, but it's fun having somebody else around to point out the constellations to. I love how enthusiastic you are, even for yourself are from space. I may be from space, but I do not know everything about it. It is vast and wide, and many aspects are beyond my comprehension. Then we just gonna keep studying space together. There is no shortage of stars out there for us to look at, and that means there is no reason why our club should ever disband. You've been stargazing with us on this roof almost every night for the last 3 weeks, Anna. If that doesn't make you a bona fide club member, I don't know what does.
Hiyori looks to me. Now, grinning cheerily despite the chill.
What do you say, Haru? My second in command. Can't we make Anna an honorary member? For she's not a student.
I know I need to ask you that. You're the club leader. You're the one with all the authority here. I returned her smile with one of my own. And I know you've already come to a decision. And has been a proper member of our club ever since she first appeared on the roof.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You know me too well, second in command.
Of course, we are friends, leader. What else do you expect?
I know, you can be a little slow when it comes to picking up on other people's emotions.
Guilty as charged. I'm not the best at discerning how others feel, but I can tell how we feel about Anna easily enough. You've made it pretty obvious. I want the three of us to continue looking at the stars as we are now. The astronomy club is very important to me. And it's important to me because of you too. That proves that you're both important members of the club. You're irreplaceable.
Oh, darling.
Anna sighs, one hand pressed against her chest.
You're so nice to me. Thank you for your acceptance. I was unsure when I first came to this planet whether I would really fit in, but you and Hiyori have done everything you can to make me feel welcome. I really do love this planet, but I love looking for other planets with the pair of you too. Stargazing is so much fun. I would like us to keep on doing it. Then that's just what we'll do. There is no reason for us to stop. But now it's become a habit. The three of us are gonna stay together, no matter what. Now!
Hiyori gestures to the telescope.
Do you want to take a look? And Venus is very clear tonight. I think you'll get a kick out of seeing it. Oh yes, I would love to.
Anna takes her position in the telescope, beaming brightly, while Hiyori and I watch her. Where's the CG? Her enthusiasm is so palpable, it's contagious. I can't help but smile myself when I look at her. I never used to smile all that much in the past, but Anna brings it out of me. Being with her and Hiyori, too, makes me happier than I knew was possible. It's no wonder Koichi and the others get so pissed at me on a regular basis. I really am a lucky guy. I almost feel obliged to apologize to my housemate, but...
Go out and speak. You're correct, Hiyori. I can see Venus in so much detail. It's quite astounding.
Nah. I'm not going to apologize for having fun, and I'm not going to apologize for meeting Anna either. Good. That's how it should be, man. I'm going instead to enjoy my newfound happiness without overthinking it. Then with some hope, I should be able to hold on to it. No matter what the future holds. A little while later.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Hiyori sits beside me on the couch in the astronomy club room, her hands resting demurely on her thighs. Her hair is a bit rumpled after her time spent on the rooftop, gazing at the stars, and her cheeks are tinted pink from the cold. The three of us, Anna, Hiyori and I, enjoyed a couple of hours on the roof together looking up at the stars, but Hiyori eventually had to call it quits. She feels the cold easily and she needs to return to club room to recuperate. Anna, meanwhile, was so transfixed by the stars that she decided to remain on the roof, the sole custodian of Hiyori's telescope. Now, Hiyori and I are the only ones in the club room. We've not had much of a chance to speak together one-on-one since she confessed her feelings to me in her home that one night. As a result, the atmosphere between us feels a bit charged, I suppose you could say. I'm not one to get easily flustered, but I'm finding it hard to look Hiyori in the eye. I can't help but recall the sensation of her mouth on mine. Hiyori's made her feelings towards me abundantly apparent, but as for me...
Haru?
Hiyori looks at me curiously, her head tilted to one side.
Is something on your mind? You've been awfully quiet.
Well, I jump abashed and run a hand through my flowing hair. Sorry, Hiyori, I didn't mean to worry you. I was just off in my own thoughts, is all.
Were you thinking about space?
Not this time, of course, for once, no.
Oh, then about Anna?
No, this isn't about her either. Things have changed a lot since she arrived. It's true, but my life doesn't revolve around her. Revolve around her. She tends to occupy all my thoughts.
Just a sizable chunk of them?
It's about 20 to 80 right now.
Really?
Hiyori sits closer to me on the couch. Her thighs brush against mine, and I shiver.
What's the 80 then?
Oh, it was 20 to 80, not off 80. Okay. That would be... I swallow. All of a sudden my throat feels very dry. Good thing I have some water. It feels embarrassing to admit this. Outright, but well. Hiyori must have endured more than her fair share of embarrassment when she fessed up her feelings to me. That must have taken an incredible amount of courage, but she was able to overcome her fears when it counted. I thought her determination was very impressive, and it was adorable too. She really must love me, to be willing to make herself so vulnerable for my sake. She exposed herself even more thoroughly than Anna did in the bathtub the night she moved into my apartment. I've had a while to think about my response to Hiyori's confession, and now I think I've come up with a response. Unsure though I remain, I can't keep stringing her along like this. It's cruel to keep her in the dark without any ideas as to the state of our relationship. Are we going to trigger the fair achievement today? Come on. I'm supposed to be a man. It's time I took the lead. I inhale deeply, then affix Hiyori with a very serious expression. Indeed. That would be you. Did I? Once again, because I somehow managed to scroll back. That would be you, Hiyori.
What?
Hiyori stares at me uncomprehendingly, then points towards her chest.
Me?
Yes, you. I often think of, and it's true, but as of late, you're the one who's been on my mind. I think about you when I wake up in the mornings, and when I go to sleep at night. When we're together like we are now, I can't get your confession from my mind. I've been giving your words a good deal of thought, and, well... I offer Hiyori a smile. I'm doing my best to appear calm, for my heart is pounding like a drum inside my chest. I think I would like to be your boyfriend, if you still want me to be, that is. I've not been in a relationship before. How did you manage that again? But I'd like to try it with you. We're both inexperienced, but I think we can make it work. What do you say? Are you, still interested in me?
I know I've kept you waiting a while, but...
I begin, but Hiyori cuts me off.
Oh, Haru, of course I want to be in a relationship with you. You don't even need to ask. I love you after all. I love you so much.
Let's go! Achievement unlocked, blossoming feelings. Dude, she's so adorable, come on. I'm sorry, but for me she wins with Anna. Okay? So saying, Hiyori shuffles even closer to me on the worn old couch, then rests her head up on my shoulder. Her upturned eyes peer at me, warm and rich like honey beneath her long eyelashes.
I didn't think you would respond to my confession, if I'm being honest. You've always been kind of awkward when it comes to displays of affection. You've always flinched away from me when I hugged you, and you deflect all my compliments. I was certain you'd pretend that my confession never happened. Nor my kiss.
Oh, Hiyori. I frown. Do you really think I'd do that? I'm not that callous. I wouldn't ignore your feelings like that. Not after you mastered the courage to confess to me. That took real guts. Your hard work deserves to be rewarded.
Why, thank you. I'm glad. I was really nervous before I confessed to you, but I guess it was a good thing I went through with it.
It's always a good thing to go through with it. Honestly, it's better to go, say it, than regret not saying it.
If I'd never told you how I felt, I doubt you'd ever know. You might know a lot about space, but you're not the best when it comes to understanding girls' hearts.
I guess not, no. I don't have very much practice in the department, but I'm willing to learn. Can you teach me, Hiyori? I'll even call you professor if you want.
I'm not too sure about that.
Hiyori giggles again.
I've never been in a relationship myself either. This is all very new to me.
It's new to me too, but I think that's fine. We can help one another out.
Yeah, I suppose so. Oh!
Hiyori nuzzles her cheek against my shoulder as a cat might, her face glowing with happiness.
This is almost too good to be true. It feels like a dream.
It's not a dream. I can promise you that much. Your straightforward approach was able to win me over. After seeing how cute you were, there was no way I couldn't reciprocate your feelings.
I don't think I'm that cute really, compared to when I'm rather plain. Speaking of which...
No, you aren't plain. Hiyori frowns.
What will you do about Anna? She seemed pretty gung-ho about marrying you. Won't this news hurt her feelings?
I'll break it to her gently. She's a nice girl, so I'm sure she'll understand. I have known you a good deal longer than I've known her, after all. She might be a little upset, but I'm sure she'll recover in due course.
I guess so. She's very cheery, isn't she?
Yeah, it's an endearing trait of hers. But you're no less endearing than she is. Please don't compare yourself to Anna. There is no need. Anna might be pretty, but you're adorable, and you're the one I want to be with. I'm not joking when I say I like you, Hiyori. Hiyori's face floats, scarlet.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to you saying that.
Well, you'd better, because I'm going to be saying it a lot from this point on. I like Hiyori, in fact. I might even love you.
Wow!
Hiyori holds one hand on her chest. We're so close together, I can hear her heart thumping.
That's so forward. You're making me blush.
Good. You look even more adorable than usual when you blush. That's one of the things I love the most about you. Will you be my girlfriend?
Yes, of course. I'd be anything for you, Haru.
Don't say something like that, please. Not anything. Anyway, Hiyori leans in, then presses a quick kiss against my cheek. Before drawing away, she then whispers into my ear.
I've often felt like I don't belong on this planet, but...
Hiyori draws back, beaming, flashing a mouthful of pearly white teeth.
I feel like I belong in your arms. My home is with you, by your side. So long as we're together, I don't need anything else. I really do love you.
And... Okay. I don't know, I kind of expecting something to still happen. Dude, we've covered this pretty fast, haven't we? Wait. We've covered this one pretty fast. You know what? It's kinda late, but I think I will sit to the other endings tonight. I think it's totally worth it. Is Hiyori... Dude, we covered this in 4 episodes. What? Seriously? That really was fast. Then again, I put out 2 episodes that were 2 hours long. So, yeah. Anywho, that was Hiyori's ending, which, to me personally, is my ending because I like Hiyori, okay? Hiyori is great. And she's not plain. She's awesome. I like her a lot. We'll of course check out now the other endings as usual. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.